iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. So I know I told you that I was going to do more baseball podcasts, but hold on a second. I got to do a football podcast today. Not that I mind doing that, but there was a big move last night. Huge. The Chiefs trade Alex Smith to the Redskins, and they get a third-round pick and cornerback Kendall Fuller. Now, Kendall Fuller, very good slot corner. They could really use him. The Chiefs defense, missed Eric Berry all last year. Fuller and Berry helped this team dramatically. Okay? So, right there, getting Fuller good, getting a pick good. Now, why else is this good for Kansas City? You get rid of Alex Smith's salary cap number, and Pat Mahomes is your starting quarterback. If I'm a Chiefs fan, I'm buying a jersey. I'm feeling great today. Today's the best day of my life as a Chiefs fan. Pat Mahomes is a star in the making. Don't kid yourself. And I've seen things on Twitter today about Smith versus Mahomes. And I want to talk about this here. Some guy, and I won't call him out. I'll just talk about his tweet. Smith is largely a known commodity at this point. Mahomes is not. That's the critical difference for me. When you give me answers like that, that tells me one thing. You're losing your fantasy league. I promise you that. You give me an answer like that, you're losing. Do you know why? Because I'm drafting Mahomes. Because I'm drafting talent. And I'm watching this guy, and I know what Alex Smith is going to do for me. Nothing. Alex Smith is pedestrian. Mahomes is going to go in there, and he is going to throw the ball deep to Tyreek Hill. Firstly. He's going to throw the ball to Travis Kelce. He's going to throw the ball to Kareem Hunt. He's going to make plays. He is a playmaker. Alex Smith is a bus driver. Big difference. One guy's a playmaker. One guy's a bus driver. One guy, look, I'm not going to lie. Pat Mahomes may throw twice as many interceptions as Alex Smith, but he'll also win you a lot of games with his arm. And I want that if I'm the Chiefs. You lost to the Titans at home. I mean, really. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya. Bye, Alex Smith. So I'm loving Mahomes in Kansas City. I'm loving this for Tyreek Hill and Kareem Hunt and Travis Kelce. I'm loving getting Fuller, and I'm loving getting the pick. So that's it from the Kansas City's end. Next. From the Redskins' end. Why would the Redskins do this? Well, in some convoluted way, it makes sense. They were never bringing back Kirk Cousins. That relationship was damaged. They had multiple chances to bring him back, and not once did they give him an offer that was legit. Right? Kirk, you want to come back and we'll lowball you. Kirk knew he didn't want to get lowballed. He's like, I'm out of here, you bums. So, before Cousins had a chance to dump the Redskins dumped Cousins. People do it all the time in relationships. I'll dump you before you dump me. Then I get the credit for being the dumper, not the dumpy. So, if they don't dump Cousins, Cousins leaves, and now you got Colt McCoy and some journeyman that you pick up. Smith, at least, is an upgrade over that, and he gives you a slight chance to win. Slight. Not a big chance. Slight. Let's not go crazy here. He's still Alex Smith. So if I'm the Redskins, I pay $71 million of guaranteed money on a 4-year extension to make sure that I've got a respectable guy being my team's quarterback. Smith is the guy who leads you to the 6th seed in the NFC. He's the guy who gets you 9-7 and 10-6. He's the guy that keeps you competitive in a very competitive division. But he's not a guy who wins you a Super Bowl. Now, for the Redskins, I have no problem with Chris Thompson's value. No problem whatsoever with Jamison Crowder's value, because Crowder is a great route runner. Big problems with Josh Doctson. Big. I don't think that Alex Smith is going to throw the balls that Josh Doctson needs. Josh Doctson needs a quarterback to throw him a 50-50 ball because he's going to go up and get it. That's the type of receiver he is. And Alex Smith is not going to make those plays. That's just not in his DNA. It's just not in his DNA. So, downgrade to Doctson, status quo for Crowder, status quo for Thompson. Redskin fans now have a legit shot at the playoffs for the next 4 years. But here's my argument. If I asked you, would you rather your team go 2-14 for the next 3 years and then win a Super Bowl, or go 10-6 for the next 4 years and never win a Super Bowl? What would you take? I would hope you would tell me I'd want the Super Bowl. That's what you should be telling me. I just don't think you get there with Alex Smith. I think you maintain respectability and Jay Gruden keeps his job, but you're not more than 10-16. It's just who you are. Now, the big winner, the Kirk Cousins. And I'll get to the New York Jets in a second. Kirk Cousins is going to get paid. Paid. Now, everybody out there wants Kirk Cousins. And if Alex Smith is getting $71 million guaranteed, what's Kirk Cousins going to get? $90 million guaranteed for 4 years? That's what he earned. That's what he deserves. He's better than Alex Smith, for sure. So some teams that make a lot of sense. The Jets, right? Jeremy Bates is there. Cousins loves Bates. Makes a lot of sense, and the Jets have tons of cash. He'll play well in New York. He'll give the Jets a guy. The Jets will be competitive. I like it. I have no problem with that. 2, the Denver Broncos. The Denver Broncos make tons of sense only if John Elway is willing to admit that he was wrong. Right? He's going to have to admit that he was wrong with Paxton Lynch, who was a bum, by the way, and be able to get him out to bring Cousins in. Denver makes a lot of sense. Minnesota makes sense, but I don't think he's going to go to Minnesota, even though it's probably the team that he can win the Super Bowl with. The problem is Minnesota has Bradford, they have Keenum, they have Bridgewater. They're going to roll out a $12 million contract to one of these guys and say, whoever signs first is the starter. Well, it ain't going to be Kirk Cousins because he's going to be able to get double that money. The Cardinals make sense without Carson Palmer. Good weather. And don't kid yourself. What about the Buffalo Bills? The Buffalo Bills have McCoy, they have Kelvin Benjamin, Charles Clay, good defense, and the team made the playoffs. And trust me when I tell you, they're not bringing back Tyrod Taylor. If I had to guess, I think that Cousins will be in the AFC East next year, whether it be the Jets or the Bills. That's where it makes the most sense for me. I know Denver makes sense. It does. Denver makes sense, but I don't think Elway's going to let him go there because Elway will have to admit defeat. Right? I think Elway will have to admit defeat. And a lot of people don't like doing that. I drafted this guy. He's going to be good. Well, if he was any good, John Elway, wouldn't Paxton Lynch be your quarterback? No, because he stinks. That's a guy who's a good college quarterback who's never going to be a great pro quarterback. So let's review. Who wins? The Chiefs win. Big win. Pat Mahomes. I'm buying that jersey this offseason. I kid you not. I'm buying a Mahomes jersey. I'm buying a Jimmy Garoppolo jersey. I'm in on those two. 1. Tyreek Hill, winner. Travis Kelce, winner. These guys are going to get the ball from a kid who's not afraid to throw it. 2. Kirk Cousins, winner. Gets out of Washington with a coach who hates him, with a coaching staff who hates him, and he's going to get paid. So, you know what? Good for Kirk Cousins. I think he did a lot with a crappy offensive line and no running game. He did as well as he could. Not his fault. So, winner is Kirk Cousins. Winner are the Chiefs. Are the Redskins winners? No, but I don't think they're losers either. They got a guy. Now, as much as we may hate Alex Smith, the Browns were in on this too. The Browns wanted Alex Smith. I bet you a lot of teams wanted Alex Smith. He's a guy that's not going to kill you. So did the Redskins win? I bet you if I called Daniel Snyder right now on the phone and Jay Gruden, they would say this was a win for their team. They probably would tell me that they were going to lose Kirk Cousins anyway. They needed to get a guy, and Smith is an above-average quarterback in the NFL. So that in their minds, they won. In my mind, as a fantasy guy, I don't think they won because I think he hurts the value for the rest of the players around him. So fantasy-wise, credit to the Chiefs, big problems for the Redskins, especially Josh Doxson. As for Cousins, we'll have to see. We'll have to see what happens here and how it shakes out. I don't know how it's going to shake out, but I know the one thing, I know he's going to get paid big bucks. All right, as we move forward, I'll get you as much information on these deals as I can as they come up. Some other news, Andrew Luck, close to throwing again. I'll believe it when I see it. I still don't think Andrew Luck is a top 12 quarterback next year. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm willing to change it, but right now he's not in my top 12. More news. The Sacramento Bee, Matt Barrows, says Carlos Hyde could be done with the 49ers. I'm fine with that. I think Carlos Hyde will get paid elsewhere. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo doesn't need Carlos Hyde. They'll find a guy. First Coast News, Mike Kay thinks that Jaguars are getting rid of Chris Ivory. Bye-bye, Chris Ivory. You got Corey Grant and TJ Yeldon. Who needs Chris Ivory? The only reason Chris Ivory was good was because you didn't have Leonard Fournette. Once you have Leonard Fournette, who needs Chris Ivory? It will be interesting to see what the Jaguars do with Blake Bortles. I think they bring him back. I think they have to bring him back. Look, they were a quarter away from making the Super Bowl with Blake Bortles. What does that tell you? Pretty impressive, right? Blows your mind when you think of it that way. Okay? All right, you know what else blows my mind? Anybody who hasn't signed up for ScoutDFS.com, that blows my mind. If I wanted to win in DFS, and I wanted to be a big player, and I wanted to make money, I would join Scout DFS. I would be on our optimizer, I'd be listening to the podcast, I'd be reading the articles, and I'd be a winner. That's what I would do. Because Scout DFS gives me the best information to put to good use so I can win money in daily fantasy sports. So if you haven't tried it out, try it out. 7 days, free week trial. You don't like it? Leave. But if you do like it and you're my rich friend, remember, Dr. Roto told you so. And maybe you want to give me a finder's fee. I'll be happy with that too. The Rotos need to go to summer camp this summer. Getting closer and closer. All right, guys, but right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. I'll tell you, I'll talk more baseball tomorrow, but who knows? When football comes in like this, we got to talk about it. All I know is the most important information will be covered here, and I will bring it to you because that's how I roll. All right, guys, wishing you a great day. This is Dr. Roto saying be well, take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!